Welcome to the space where reflection meets accountability, where real conversations challenge the way we think, speak, and show up in the world. This is a place for growth, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So take a breath, slow down for a moment, and let's get into today's reflection. Let's talk about something that sounds simple, but for a lot of people, it's one of the hardest things to do. Expressing your needs. Because if we're being honest, a lot of us expect people to just know what we need. We think,
if they care about me, they should just get it. If I have to ask, it doesn't mean as much. I shouldn't have to explain myself.
but here's the truth. People can't meet needs they don't understand. And expecting someone to read your mind, that's not communication. That's assumption. And assumptions lead to disappointment. So instead of being clear, what do? We hint. We withdraw. We get frustrated when people don't respond the way we hoped. And then we say things like,
I guess it doesn't matter. I'm used to doing everything myself anyway.
but underneath that, there's a real need that just hasn't been expressed clearly. So let's fix that. First, get clear with yourself. You can't communicate a need if you don't understand it. Ask yourself,
What am I actually needing right now? Is it support? Reassurance? Space? Consistency? Respect?
a lot of people skip this step. They just feel something and react. But clarity starts internally. Because once you understand your need, you can communicate it without confusion. Now let's talk about how to express it. This is where most people struggle. Because they communicate their needs through frustration instead of clarity. It sounds like,
You never listen to me. You don't care. You're always busy.
but those statements aren't clear. They're accusatory. And when people feel attacked, they stop listening. So instead, shift to this. Use I statements. I feel. I need. I would appreciate. For example,
I've been feeling a little disconnected lately, and I need more quality time with you. I feel overwhelmed and could really use some support right now. I need clearer communication so I'm not left guessing.
that's clear. That's direct. That's effective. Now here's something important. Be specific. Saying, I need more effort is vague. What does effort actually look like? More communication? More time together? More consistency? The more specific you are, the easier it is for someone to meet that need. Because now, they're not guessing. They're responding. Let's also talk about timing. Don't wait until you're overwhelmed to express your needs. Because when you wait too long, it comes out emotionally charged. Instead of, Hey, I need this. It turns into,
I've been feeling this way for weeks and you never noticed.
now it's heavier than it needed to be. So communicate early before frustration builds. Now here's a big one. Give people the opportunity to show up for you. A lot of people don't express their needs because they're afraid of being disappointed. They think,
What if I say it and nothing changes?
but not saying it guarantees nothing changes. At least when you express it, you create the opportunity for a different outcome. And their response will tell you everything you need to know. Because someone who values you will try. They might not get it perfect, but they'll make the effort. And effort matters. Now let's be real about something. Not everyone will meet your needs. And that's not always a communication issue. It's a compatibility issue. But you can't determine that without clear communication first. So expressing your needs isn't just about being understood. It's about discovering alignment. It shows you who can meet you where you are and who can't. And that clarity, that's powerful. Because now you're not stuck in confusion. You're making decisions based on truth. So if you've been holding back, if you've been expecting people to just figure it out, if you've been feeling unseen or misunderstood, this is your reminder. Your needs are valid. Your voice matters. And expressing yourself clearly is not asking for too much. It's asking for what's real. If this episode helped you think differently about communication, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. And in the comments, what's one need you're learning to express more clearly? Thanks for listening. Until next time, stay aware, stay grounded, and keep growing. Elevate and glow.